Fox Medical. Sponsored locally by Regents Blue Shield.
So just as football season kicks off, a new study by Boston University CTE Center suggests playing football might increase the risk of developing Parkinson's disease. This study, sponsored by the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, found that athletes who had played organized tackle football were at a 61% higher risk of being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Researchers stress that these findings are preliminary and other risk factors are also at play here. Fox Medical Team's Dr. Mike joining us live to discuss this study. Always good to have you, Dr. Mike. So what are some steps that players can take to protect themselves from developing neurological conditions like Parkinson's later on in life?
Well, Bill, you know, a lot of the viewers have said, when is Dr. Mike going to bring his brain? Well, I did. It's right here, okay? Now, let's talk about the fact that when you have trauma to the brain, see, the brain is in the skull, and there's nowhere for it to go. And so when you have a sudden impact, there's a movement of that brain, and that's what a lot of researchers think causes things like chronic traumatic encephalopathy and damage to the brain, and with this new information, perhaps Parkinson's. So, number one, anyone that plays contact sports needs to learn how to play the game properly, and that is dependent on trainers and coaches to teach young folks especially, as well as professionals, how to tackle and try not to use their head as a weapon so that they cause damage to the brain. That's number one. Number two, most experts say limit the amount of full contact practice. You don't want to do a lot of practicing with full contact. And then finally, for young people, maybe focus on flag football rather than full contact football. Now, I don't know whether you saw the movie Oppenheimer, but I don't want to be the destroyer of worlds. But the bottom line is, Bill, there is risk associated with playing contact sports, especially things like American football.
So I have done so many stories over the years talking about the brain trauma related to repeated hits to the head, and it's not just football. I mean, you know, even soccer players deal with it when they head the ball, they run into each other. So I mean, sports, these kind of things are going to happen. What would you say to the parent who's bringing their 10-year-old into your office saying, hey, we want to get him out playing tackle football? What kind of advice would you give?
Well, that's a tough one, and I'll use my own son as an example. He's 15. I have him playing baseball because, sadly, he does not appear to have the physique or the he picked the wrong father if he's going to play in the NFL. I hate to say it. So the bottom line is I want my son to have a long, productive life and be healthy. And so for that reason, I have elected to try to minimize the risk by having him play sports that are not as impactful to the brain as things like football. Now, that is an individual decision that you and your kids have to have. And look, you can minimize, you can reduce the risk, and what this study showed was that it really gets to be more problematic at the college level and professional level. Now, if you get to that point, then you have to decide, well, hey, maybe this is going to be my career, and the risk-benefit ratio is in my favor. But if you have a young person that you don't think is going to end up making a career out of it, personally, I've elected to be on the safe side with my son. That's the bottom line. A hard thing to say. Football is a part of America, but look, it is what it is.
Dr. Mike, we appreciate your perspective. Thanks so much.
Love you, Bill. You the man.
You're the man. How can I be the man? You the man. We've been through this. All right,
no,
Dr.
you the
Mike.
man. No,
Thank you so much.